Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper, or thank you for joining me if this is your first time here. I'd love to have you in my community of great bookish friends who read great, amazing things and share them with us at all times. So today I just wanted to check in. I have had a little bit of trouble with some technology in the last couple days, so filming has been rough, and also we had our granddaughter, the baby, for the entire weekend from Halloween night, Friday through Sunday midday. We went and met them and dropped her off, but also had lunch and went to a bookstore with them. So we had the best time. It was just our first real overnight with her in our home. I've had overnights with her before. We have as well, just caring for her and helping with mommy. But this one in particular was just so much fun, and we had just a lovely time. So that kind of disrupted some things for me, and now I'm getting back in the groove and also trying to take down Halloween stuff. And I got another infection, so I had to go to the doctor and get antibiotics, and it's just chaos. You know, life is chaos, right? But we're going to talk today about what I'm planning to read in the month of November. A little late, I know. Also, what might be a pile of possibilities for me, and Bucketlistathon. All right, so let's start with what I am planning to read in November because there's a commitment to this. The first one is my book club read. This is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. I love Fredrik Backman's work. I haven't read everything yet, but I am trying to get there at some point. But this was our book club selection, and I gotta say, people talk about this book almost every day when I'm watching BookTube or when I'm in conversations with people about books on social media. This one seems to be grabbing people right by the heart and the gut. And so I feel like this is going to be very memorable and maybe one of my favorites of his ever. I don't know. We shall see. I did love A Man Called Uwe. I loved what was the first one in the series about the hockey? Beartown. Goodness sakes, I needed a minute there. I loved Beartown. I need to get finished with that series too, but this one, because it was a book club pick, is going to get priority, and I'm super excited to get to that one. And I'm doing a buddy read this month with my friend Jane. We have been talking about this for a while, and because it's November and it's typically an election month of the year, we chose to read this now, which is What's Next by Melissa Fitzgerald and Mary McCormack. And this is the stories that they have compiled and the interviews and the process of letting us all know how the filming of this particular series went and what brought this forward, what made it so special and unique. Why was it so loved? Because a lot of other shows about politicians and about politics have not done particularly well, and this one went on for a very long time. We have watched it and rewatched it. We watched it with our kids when it was coming out, episode by episode. I think we've watched it twice since then, all in its entirety. And now and again, I just put one on because I like to have it in the background, and I like to remember how much I love these characters and the development of that trajectory of that President Bartlett. And so I love Martin Sheen. I love so many of the actors and actresses that were in this particular show. So now it's time for Jane and I to read this together, talk about it, and I'm so excited that she and I picked this month to do this because it's just quite it's a monumental thing, right? So, a backstage pass to the West Wing cast and crew and its enduring legacy of service. And yes, let me not leave that part out. This book is about how they were all committed to service and still are. In fact, Melissa now works for the government in service to the government. They are all committed to helping people and have stayed that way. So I want to hear about that, as well as how these folks got together and how they ended up being on this show and how they felt about it while they were there. So there's a few pictures here and there. I think it's just going to be great. Just great. And there's lots of quotes from the show as well. So if you loved The West Wing like we did and still do, that one is a good one for you to pick up, I think. Now I'm still getting through the wager. I know I'm going to get done with it by the end of the year for sure. So this is my nonfiction quarterly pick for last quarter, and I didn't get to it. I have finished the one that was picked for this particular quarter, so I can talk about that when I do my reading wrap up. But this one is one I got to get back to, but I have some time. And that's the trouble, though, is I can be that procrastinator that keeps saying, oh, you got time, you got time, and then the next thing I know, I don't have time. But this is a nonfiction work about a shipwreck, mutiny, and murder, as it says. And I hear that it's very propulsive, it's very easy to read, and it reads like a novel. So we shall see. I'm not enjoying it, I'm just not giving it enough priority and time. I have some loose ends too. I don't know if I'll get to these in the month of November, but this one is The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. This was on my pile of possibilities last month. I started it. I got that far in it. I did not get back to it. I had a really significant reading slump at the end of October, and I'll talk about that in the reading wrap up video, but I really did great for the first few weeks, and then I just kind of went, shoo. And it might have been a number of things that didn't even have to do with a slump. I don't know, but it felt like I was not where I wanted to be, and it was frustrating. But nevertheless, I'm enjoying this one, and I would like to finish it fairly soon. And I do need to finish a book of the month each month, as you know. I also started this, not very far in. This is Latte Trouble, so this is book 2, I think, in the Coffee House Mystery series. And I enjoy these. They're easy. I started it, and then I just didn't pick it back up because I was trying to read too many things at one time. So that's why this one didn't get a priority. But I really do think that I'm going to love these, and I want to get through this series because it's one that I really enjoyed, at least in the beginning. I'm not going to buy all of them right at once because it's possible that I will stop reading this series at some point, but I probably have 5 or 6 that I haven't yet read that are on my shelf. So we will see if I get to that. Now, let's talk about Bucketlistathon. So this is a readathon that's hosted by Danni Dabbles, and she asked me to participate a little bit in this with her in the sense of I filmed a video and recommended some books, and so go to Danni Dabbles' channel. I'll link it in the description box below. She's going to do a spotlight video of each of us that are participating as just booktubers that are recommending books. There's a lot of great folks on that list, and she's just a lovely human. I love her channel, and she's just super nice. So she's also doing some reading sprints. You can do this Bucketlistathon for 2 months if you'd like, which I think I might do. That's kind of where I'm at right now, or you can do it for 1 month, but it's a whole month-long readathon, which makes me feel great because then I have some time to get to where I need to be, despite whether or not I might end up in a reading slump or not. Danni has several ways for you to participate in the Bucketlistathon. One of them is she's done some short and longer little maps where you can roll the dice and you can go along this map, and then you can choose the books you want to read as a result of where you land. Those are very fun. Or each of us that did a video for her also came up with a prompt, and so you can use one of those prompts that guides your reading for that particular book. I could have said to you, as I often do, oh, here's my TBR or my pile of possibilities for Bucketlistathon. And I could probably use some of these books that I've just shared with you that could correspond with those prompts as well. And when I do that, I feel like I get myself a little overwhelmed. So I don't want to do that either. So I'm going to do one by one and then do a little short video each time I choose another one. So in other words, I'm going to choose a prompt, and then I'm going to fulfill the prompt, and then I'm going to come back and do a video about that prompt. Okay? That's the plan anyway, at the moment. So I've already completed one of the prompts because it was a prompt where you're just going to take care of yourself. So I love that one. That one is from B at Just Be Weird. Find something that was caring for you, whether it's a book to read or whether it's something that you would go out and do, just something that brings you a lot of joy. And so for me, that prompt ended up being the weekend with my kiddos, my family, and also in particular the weekend with the grandbaby, just to be able to be with her for that amount of time in a new way was wonderful. We just had the most wonderful time, as you know, because I've already talked about it, right? But that was the first prompt, and that's called What is that prompt called? Don't forget to look after yourself. That's what it's called. There are 14 prompts altogether. Also, just to remind you, my prompt is to read a book or about a book within a book. All right, so that's your prompt from me if you choose to do this. But right now, I'm currently reading 50/50 by Steve Kavanaugh. This one is on Kindle for me, and I'm going to hopefully finish this. I started it on the 1st of November when Bucketlistathon began. I think I did. And I'm pretty far in. I'm really compelled to keep reading it. I'm enjoying it. It's picked up a little bit in the middle, so I'm happy with that. So that one is going to fulfill the prompt that Kirsten from Reading Nymph created for the Bucketlistathon, and that is to let's investigate is the name of the prompt. That's to read a book with a mystery in it, or solve or do a puzzle. Now, I could do either one of those things, but I'm going to finish 50/50 by Steve Kavanaugh. I read 13 by Steve Kavanaugh a few years ago. Really enjoyed that book very, very much, and I had heard so much hype about this one, including a recent podcast I was listening to that Elizabeth Barnhill from Fabled Bookstore in Waco, Texas, was participating in, and she talked about 50/50 and she talked about him in general, and I really do enjoy his work. It's typically very propulsive and it's unique, and I got to tell you, I am riveted when I have the time to read and really not sure how this is going to end, but it's, I'm sure, going to end in a twisty kind of way, and I can't wait. So that is my current read for Bucketlistathon. I am participating. I am excited. And so again, look at Danni's channel, Danni Dabbles. It will be in the description box below. And you'll be able to see the intro video. You'll be able to see prompts each day. She will share with you one of the videos that each of us did. So you'll see our prompts and what we were thinking when we created those prompts. And absolutely a fun time. And I'm going to join her for sprints as much as I can as well. So that is my TBR pile of possibilities for the month of November, which is probably going to be I don't know, maybe it won't be so busy. We shall see. But it's going to be a good month because it's full of family and fun and lots of great food, right? So thanks so much. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know if you're participating in Bucketlistathon, because that will be exciting to know that you're doing that too. We could chat about it offline if you'd like to do that as well. And as always, happy reading. Bye.